Hello, and welcome to yet another Toonkind at 12 FPS. This time the recording started right. I like to reference gags in these things because I feel like the listeners get a good joke out of this. But
We're
however,
professionals.
we're professionals. I am Spec, one of your co-hosts for tonight's the original plan is Fluffy game. We will see. Because I'm joined by my lovely, wonderful, creative, enabling co-host who I love dearly, but when you put us in FPS together and you don't have any third parties there to stop us,
Hi.
it's up to the dice.
Hi.
Would you like to introduce yourself, beloved?
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I am Noodle or Pasta or Udon or whichever variation thereof y'all are feeling like. And yes, I am the Angst enabler. I am the knife salesperson. I come to you. I show you my vast array of knives. Fully expecting to have them both used on everyone around because I am a gremlin and chaotic, and my energies cannot be contained.
I'm staying strong for us, gallery. We'll see how strong I stay because I'm playing Tome, and anybody who knows me when I play Tome.
We said this is going to be a low angst FPS. Let's see.
I look at the live listener we have right now. Blows a kiss.
Yep. Screw it. We're gonna just blow a kiss to our beloved Comet because this is also their birthday. So happy birthday, Comet.
So I want everyone. I'm listening to this recording to know we just wished the lovely Comet a happy birthday, gave a shout out to how amazing they are, and they just said, I have no faith in you two.
To be fair, I have no faith in us either.
So, like, they are apologizing now, but as their friend, I need to take this gag a bit farther. As their friend, I feel like I must just rub this in as far as I can. Actually, we let you comment. We jest.
So we get to go someplace fun and delightful. Hey, Tome. How about you roll some perception? This is a new city. You've never been here before.
I love how you just asked me to roll perception as Tome. I don't know if his modifier is going to help him a lot in this situation.
How's he doing? He's doing great! That's a nat 20.
For dear listeners, that's a nat 20 plus 10, that's a 30. Holy shit!
Oh. Hi, Tome. Welcome to Los Alluvia. Yeah, this wonderful, delightful city out in the middle of the Warren Desert is, for one, very loud and very bright. And there's a lot going on here. You'd think, because, it's still pretty hot out. It's past the afternoon, so it's not the hottest part of the day, but it's still pretty warm. And there's a lot of people out and about, and, well, you were told that, it'd be obvious. You couldn't miss it. You can find the Sitting Duck Casino. You can definitely, with a 30, find the crowning jewel of this city. A very opulent and extravagant casino with guards out front of the doors, and people who go in are very, very wealthy and show it, or those who go in and don't quite look it are very obviously trying to play up that they probably are looking like they have more money than they actually do to fit in. But among this is one person who stands out from all of this opulence. A very familiar being.
Just went, the rich.
Understandable. who is standing by those doors and is being glared at by the guards, despite the fact that he is grinning at them with a very fittingly fox-like grin, considering he does have a certain mask on.
I will say, because I have to legally say this now because he is wearing his pin right now. Tome does get souvenirs for Leo and Camille because the gallery, within like 5 seconds of Noodle mentioning which city he was in, went, oh, souvenirs for the children.
Oh, there's plenty of souvenirs. There are so many shops. This is obviously a tourist city. Whatever he would want, he can find, from decent souvenirs to the most tacky, gaudy nonsense possible.
Tome does not get anything tacky for his sons. He gets very well thought out gifts. I don't know what they are, but he sure. That's a future prop. No, he would not get gallery. I'm not going to get anything atrocious for them. I need to show. I can't remember which rule it is, but gallery, they don't need to be ugly. I don't know which rule it is, but I need to put thought into every gift I give them. So it has to be something they'd like. I don't know if they would like those. Maybe. Okay, I'll get one atrocious gift for each of them. But I'm also getting a well thought out one because the the handbook, the rule book says that I have to. 1 second, there's a person in the gallery who's not listening live, but and it is kind of taking me out. Holy shit! I'm not gonna call them out on recording.
Look, we love our gallery. This is great. It's truly as chaotic as it's supposed to be.
But I it enhanced. Oh. Ooh, okay. Okay, I'm together now. Anyways, the current scene though, before the gallery just murders me. I love playing Tome, but the fact that I watch the gallery during his games, I watch the gallery normally anyways, but for Tome I have to like actually keep track of it. Sometimes can kill me, I feel like. I mean, I'm already a ghost, but like so Tome looks around the city, he takes everything in, he has his the rich moment. Because that is still the funniest thing he's given me for a bit. And then he sees the familiar fox boy, who he's seen a couple times without the mask, but their first meeting was with the mask, so he knows that form as well. And I am so sorry, Juby. But I've slowly started to learn that while Tome is an absolute like pushover in some sense, he is still very much, the more that he's gotten comfortable, I started to realize he has a little. What is his technical? Yeah, I'm remembering why he's chaotic neutral. I'm slowly remembering why he's chaotic neutral.
Delightful, fantastic, amazing.
Because Tome sees Juby with these guards, and did we decide if Tome was going there to meet Juby or just came across?
He was probably going there to meet Juby.
Yeah, he knows he's supposed to meet Juby, but he kind of just steps back, blends in with the background a bit, and watches.
Well, roll insight.
All right, because Tome. You're having Tome roll insight. Let's see how this one goes.
Pretty
Dirty
good.
20.
Yeah.
for our dear listeners, that was also a +10 mod.
I love the big numbers. We love them so much.
Tome
Yeah.
has two specialties, and I will use them as much as I can.
Well, for starters, it is obvious that these guards are very done and are not pleased that Jubilee is there. And Jubilee himself is incredibly smug about this. And is very obviously being a pain in their neck. Just because he can. Because with a 20, you can also tell, and we'll go with the earlier 30 perception as well, you see very prominently beside his compass that you've noticed that he's always wearing is a golden feather. And occasionally those guards will glance to it and then they'll like roll their eyes and look so exasperated and just very, very much like they would rather shove this guy into one of the decorative fountains, but they can't. You can assume there was probably their boss told them to leave Jubilee alone, but they really want to shove him in a fountain.
Don't laugh. Don't snort. You're an adult, Tome. You're not Timmy.
Yeah.
The problem with chaotic neutral Tome is, especially when it comes to Juby, I have to be very careful which of this is Tome and which of this is Timmy Muse, since I'm so used to Juby being played with Timmy Muse.
Mm-hmm. Hi, Tome. You called him a brat? Yeah, this is a brat.
Yeah, it's Tome voice. I don't like it when I'm right. He kind of just looks at this situation which is in front of him, and it takes a couple minutes, but he does eventually decide that he is here for a reason, and while he's patient of Jubilee, he doesn't want to see just how quickly he can get in trouble. So there is, I'm gonna, for the rule of funny, because I get to use that. This is as of the moment, not an Angst FPS. So I get to do this. That was a stealth. Hey, Juby, you want to roll a perception for me?
Oh boy. Oh boy. Ha! Let's see if he can beat that, because, unlike all of the detectives here, Juby is not a perceptive lad. He is, no. That's an 11.
I think he would have had to get a nat 20.
Yeah, he needed a nat 20 to match that. He's not perceptive.
And considering for the guards, I would have just recommended you roll a d20. So that doesn't got a chance.
No, they are all very
Tome is
consumed with this
very
show.
good at blending in with the background and kind of just not being standing out, and it very much works to his advantage on accident this time, because none of you really notice anybody, and then suddenly there's a 7-foot tall Toon standing behind Jubilee, giving him a very gentle tap on the shoulder. Jubilee, I hope you're not being too. Actually, he would have said Yukon. Yukon, I hope you're not being too much trouble right now.
Oh boy, that's great. We love Juby's modifier when he does that. Well, that is are delightful. He doesn't jump. But he does immediately turn on his heel, arms wide, absolutely looking the showman that he is. Like, oh, Tome, hi. No, me trouble never. No, I'm just having a lovely chat with these two. Wasn't I, gentlemen? And they're done. They are not having any of this. The guards have noticed that someone else is here for Jubilee to bother, and they are like looking away.
Really?
They're like, yeah. They're like, not our problem anymore.
Tome just looks at Jubilee when he says, not a problem. And there is this silent, just the most silent of sighs. Of course you're not, Yukon.
No, absolutely not. I'm allowed here now. It's fantastic. It's great.
Now?
We'll get into that. Come on. And he loops an arm through yours, Tome, and starts to pull you into the casino.
Tome is getting pulled in.
And it is as opulent as the outside. It is fancy. There is red and gold there's a lot of gold. But unlike you would think, there's a lot of facades, but no, this is real. This is very nice. And you're getting pulled through, and it's busy. But you keep going and going. And Jubilee's just chattering away the whole time. And back towards an elevator. But she pulls you in and actually pulls out a key card from his pocket, not his hammer space, and swipes it without hitting any of the buttons, but the doors close. And he leans up against the wall. So, how has Los Olivia been treating you so far?
Sorry, I checked the gallery. One second.
Hee-hoo. Oh, I love the gallery. That's delightful. This is fine.
I need a. The gallery has handed me 2 different bullets right now, but Tome is going to focus on Jubilee. And I'm gonna take another sip of my water and try to gather myself.
I look at one of these because Tome didn't know about that relationship.
Oh no, Tome very much noticed that, but Tome is very good at his wording. He may not have intelligence, but he does have wisdom, and he has a very good charisma. It is almost as high as his wisdom, but it is his second highest stat. Tome kind of just gives a little nod. It's been quite well. I haven't really been here before. And how has your stay been? He gives a small nod. I've been enjoying visiting your boyfriend.
That's a new roll.
For context for the future listeners, the gallery went sucks for them for their boss to have the most insufferable boyfriend, and I'm guessing Noodle wanted Tome to connect those dots, and I'm not going to be mean to Noodle. So
it's funny because it's funny. Yeah, hey, roll some insight real quick.
See, that's the thing I love about Tome is he. That's the reason I said let me get to this, because Tome would be the type of person who would just subtly do that.
Yep,
that's 29.
Yeah. Jubilee very much tries to hide his reaction. But for one, this is one topic that he is very easily flustered about, because he goes and holds that golden feather immediately, and his tail has floofed up, and his face is very, very, very red. Because he got caught. And
you go.
Yeah, he's just, it's,
Tome just kind of waves his hand. Don't worry, I have no intention of actually doing or saying this to anyone. I just wanted to see if the gallery was lying to me.
well, no, they weren't.
I
Um,
see.
I mean, he owns this casino, so the
You know,
visit's gone good.
I kind of fake. I had assumed that much, and he kind of gives a nod to where the feather's being held. I saw the guards' reactions to that. Yes,
Oh,
gallery,
it's
I do
so
doubt
much
you.
fun.
Um,
Look, it's fun to peck with them. It's really fun to peck with them. It's great.
gallery,
Especially because those two have been here a while and they really don't like me. It's wonderful.
just
Either way.
don't get into too much trouble, Yukon.
Oh, Tome. Me get into trouble, I would
Yes,
never know. Trouble just finds me.
I would believe that, except for I don't.
That'd be fair. I do enjoy making trouble in this city. It is
I
quite fun.
I would not. I would not be surprised. I'm not surprised by this.
Hmm. So
Uh,
you're here, which means you're willing to talk about the pin stuff.
he gives a nod and he kind of motions to where it's sitting on him right now.
Mhm.
Yes, and the gallery is not too loud today, so it won't be a bad talk, most likely.
Hmm. That's good, probably. Is the Pritch she can listen in on those? Is he there? I'm still not gonna get smited, right, for
No,
not
no,
knowing
you're
that.
not going to. You're fine.
Okay, good.
He kind of gives like a little wave. Pritch, it's fine.
Yes. Okay, fair. I'm still iffy on that. Mm, can't
Quick,
believe
quick
hacking
question.
130.
Um,
Hmm?
huh, our beloved backup recorder. You're still backup recording, right?
Oh no.
I mentioned before that my audio thing resetted.
Oh no.
I forgot that meant that it resetted all my filters as well, and I am recording right under an AC unit.
Oh
And I just
no.
happened to glance, and it looks like it's been yeah, it looks like it's been recording the AC. So we're probably gonna have to use the backup more likely, and now mine's the backup. Sorry, I just wanted to make sure that the backup was still going because I was like, uh-oh.
That's fair. We
Yeah.
we must we must always have some part of the recording be scuffed.
This is why I always ask for backup recorders, because mine is really bad about this.
Fair and
Anyways,
valid.
let us continue. Sorry, I had to check on that real quick.
All good. If we'd like, there is we can have the elevator ding and open up to not another floor, because it would have been going surprisingly quickly and marking off floors before onto the roof, direct roof access. And you can see from that point just stepping out the entirety of Los Alluvia laid out.
Internally, so this trope. And he doesn't say that though. He kind of gives a look as he steps out of the elevator. And he kind of glances towards Jubilee to see what he does before he says anything.
Juby slides that key card up his sleeve before wandering further out onto the roof. Not near the edge, but there's a definite ease to his steps, a confidence that definitely was not there the last time you guys talked, nor the last time you saw each other. But you can tell here is not quite what you would say is home turf, but this is definitely some place that he considers his.
Yeah.
And there's that pride at the view as he looks over to Tome, gauging his reaction.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Let me see.
Mhm.
Yeah, you can read them.
Mhm.
Tome is mildly impressed, and he kind of glances over the city as a small smile forms on his face. And even though he doesn't say much, you you can tell that he quite enjoys the view, actually.
Mm. Yeah, there is definitely Juby kind of puffs up a bit, stands a little taller. Right after seeing that, like, yeah, that's right. You can figure there's definitely a reason why he picked this place to show off a little bit.
Mhm.
And
He
yeah, go
Oh,
on.
you go. You
No,
go.
you go on.
He doesn't have anything. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was filler at this point. Um,
Mhm. Hmm. Yeah, let's see. Just for a background thing, because for my own sake. Yeah, he is definitely putting on a show. Like, there's very much that quality to how he's standing, how he's moving, how he's presenting himself. He's just so right. The gallery is present, listening, whatever they're doing, watching, however that works. They can hear me, right?
Tome gives a nod.
Hmm. So that
They
just
say
works
hi.
fine. Ah, hello, you all. Have you missed me? I know it's been a fair bit since I tried to put the pin on. Hopefully they aren't too upset by that.
Considering they're sending smiley faces, I think they're not too upset. They did miss you.
Good. Would certainly hate to leave an audience waiting. Right. No, this is a bit tricky. I don't even know if it would. Does he get it? Yep. And again, up his sleeve. Very careful pulling this out, but he does pull out his pin. That is a little bit more together. It looks like it's it's held together with tape, which is not the best look. And he does wince a little bit,
Tome
but
kind of winces too.
yeah, it is still as damaged as it was before, but he's tried to make an effort that it could stay in one piece and not be more broken. He is like, ugh.
Tome kind of just looks at that and sighs.
I don't know how to fix it. Okay,
I
I'm
no
fixing
no
things isn't really in my
no.
repertoire.
You're all right. To be honest, I don't know how you would fix it as well. You well,
Yeah.
I mean, you do need to go see Pritch anyway.
Yeah. Working on that, getting out to that city is a little more difficult than I thought.
No,
Things have been
it's
popping up.
he gives a nod of understanding. Pritch there's a pause as Tome kind of thinks over his words. Pritch is a very patient person, and I'm quite sure you're not the worst case he's had when it comes to people disappearing.
There's a head tilt and a squint.
You can insight if you want.
Let's see. That's
Oh,
pretty good.
Tome, can you beat that?
No, that's a nat
That's a
one.
nat one. Um, Tome is talking about an extremely specific person who he knows very well, and there's a bit of guilt in his eyes.
This is noted. This is marked down. Jubilee is just like, ah, I see. And that's why it was so personal last time. Got it.
But no. But listen, unlike some people in the AI server, Tome can sometimes, I say sometimes, except when he's been caught. Tome kind of shakes his head. No, no. I will say it was not. He kind of gives like a wave with his hand. I put my pin on. The person put their pin on more than you did.
Well, to be fair, this person also knew that Pritch was a god. And that pin did
Still
things
don't.
beyond just, being a lucky charm for performances.
I still don't know how you didn't realize Pritch was a god.
I meet a lot of people. Okay.
A god, Yukon.
Yeah, I meet a lot of people,
How many
and
gods do you meet, Yukon?
um, well, uh,
If you answer more than Pritch, never mind.
oh boy, he stops for a second
I
and then
knew it.
thinks on it. He like thinks and frowns and then shakes his head after a minute. And you can insight if you want.
I know the knife,
Mm-hmm.
Noodle.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
I don't know.
I will say we won't go into that.
I'm like simply thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I knew the knife I was putting there, but I was like Noodle won't do this to me. And then I don't know if you noticed, but I quickly tried to, I threw the knife and then I went no and I tried to catch it.
You fool.
That's a
Yeah.
16.
You can tell for a second he's trying to remember, like going through his head, and then thinks really hard on something, but shakes his head afterwards, like he must have been mistaken by it. It's like, no, I know Pritch and one other god. I almost got into a fight with a different one, but that was, I mean, I would have stabbed a god, but that things didn't get there. So technically two.
I'm flavoring that insight as Tome did not realize what was wrong because
Tome doesn't know everything, but he knows a lot. He doesn't know that.
It said 35 minutes. We're gonna keep that knife away for now.
Yep.
We gotta get at least 45 minutes before we enter high. I want at least 45 minutes before we get into high angst. I want 45 minutes of fluff. I want to say
It's
we almost
fine.
had a full FPS of fluff.
It's fine. We're just gonna fist fight a god. It's great. Don't worry about that.
Plus, I'm gonna be completely honest, the whole fist fight of God absolutely catches his attention more than anything. You tried to fight a god. Tell me it wasn't Pritch. Please tell me
it wasn't Pritch.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight Pritch. I didn't
Oh
think
my
he was a
God.
god at the time. I mean,
I still don't know how you did
it probably doesn't make it better that it was one of the soul spinners. The oldest one.
Tome kind of just holds up a hand because Tome is a toon. So this is Tome isn't, and Tome's not like Timmy. Tome knows a lot of toon history, or at least he knows as much as the average toon does, which is more than like Timmy or any of my other muses. And please tell me you didn't actually fist fight.
Well, I did not start a fight with Prismatone, but I would have if things did not turn out for the better.
Jubilee, I'm going to ask you a question that I've been wondering for a little bit. And I do not mean I'm not normally this blunt.
Are you going to ask if I'm an idiot?
No, I'm not going to ask if you're an idiot. I feel like the others have asked you that before, and you've already answered that. I'm going to ask a question that I feel it's very important. Someone asks you, and like I'm not normally this blunt, but I have a feeling you, based off our based off what happened during our initial conversation regarding Pritch, you don't really seem to understand things unless I decide to be blunt with you. So, Jubilee, I have to ask, do you have any sort of self-preservation?
Yes, I do.
Are you quite sure, Yukon? Because I've been wondering that for a while, actually.
Yes, I have self-preservation. I do. It just look when I lose my temper, it sort of
The
just
gallery doesn't agree.
I have self-preservation, gallery. I do. I absolutely do. I have stayed alive for a majority of my life.
You can stay alive and not have self-preservation. The plot is very good at that.
Well,
the gallery is disappointed in you, Yukon.
Everyone is disappointed in me. Let's
Not
be honest.
Don't Yukon. Don't start on. Don't.
Okay. So maybe like 5 people are.
I am quite certain it's more than 5 people.
We'll say give or take 2. I'll be generous. Either way. Point is, I do have self-preservation. Just sometimes, look. Sometimes something looks really bad, and
You decide to go towards that.
Because I thought that something worse had happened to someone very important to me. Who, yes, I would absolutely fight a god for this person.
Well, I'm glad you have that person. Me as a player am dying. I need you to understand also. This is out of character. I'm sorry, I had to break character for a second because I was losing it. out of character with the context that Tome doesn't have. I am absolutely losing it. Thank you. Tome kind of just sighs. Just, I quite understand being willing to have no self-preservation to help those you care about. But you can't help them, Yukon, if you can't make it to help them. I just don't fist fight a god,
I
especially
could
by
have won.
yourself. Yukon, you are very good at many things, and I am quite sure that you're very powerful. You would not have won. Sorry, he would. Sorry, he wouldn't say
I
that. That's how he's thinking it. That's how he's thinking. I need to remember Tome is better at keeping this together. Like what goes through his head, because in his head right now,
I'm
he's
so
kind of
done with this.
in his head. Tome is just handing me just my self control and years of patience are the only thing that keep me from shaking him. But Tome's acting really calm on the outside. So he would have said that last part a lot more calmly and more you would not have won.
I would have been fueled by rage and spite,
That does
and
not guarantee a win, Yukon.
I would not have died, which would have counted as a win as far as I'm concerned.
It's a very long sigh.
Look, okay, going off the topic of, my being willing to have, fought
Mm-hmm.
a god. Yeah, that's look, I, yes, have apparently encountered divinity multiple times, more than I realized. I thought just one was impressive, but, well, it's fine.
No, it is impressive. Just one is. Um
think my
never
scale of
mind.
I
I
think my
I'm
scale for things is off. You die twice and that happens. Either way, it's a fact of my life. We may well. Things are
Wait,
weird.
I don't think Tome knew that it was twice.
Yep. Nope.
You want to insight that?
Sure. The 17.
I'm so sorry, but this whole FPS Tome is gonna be trying to keep himself as calm and neutral as possible.
18. Yeah. Jimmy just barely misses it, but then again, he's
You
also turning out to the city.
Yeah, for the brief second you see Tome right before you turn out, you almost see something on his face.
Mhm.
But Tome is standing so calm and neutral. He's very good at this. Um,
Tom is the this is fine dog.
yeah, Tome doesn't react to that at all, except for after a moment he goes, "How often have you died, Yukon?"
Uh, looks back over his shoulder, just one ear kind of flicking up more. Twice.
Okay.
Ah, you only heard about the one, didn't you?
That is correct.
Oh, that's a bit of a story. Huh.
Only if you wish to share. It is not my information to pry.
Well, that kind of plays into the divine thing. You know where I'm from. Yes. You knew about Raven.
Yeah.
No Crow.
Did Tome?
I think he heard about it.
Yeah. Tome's gonna give a nod then.
There's this deity that watches over the town, and
Mhm.
part of what this goddess can do is bring people back from the dead. And there's this funny quirk with it. You see, people who are revived that way often have this fun streak of color in their hair. And
I need you to roll one quick insight before Tome responds.
oof, that's a 9.
Yeah. Nope. I'm not gonna even. He'd have to get an very
Pretty high.
low number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Mm-mm.
It makes sense that he rolled that low, but it still's higher.
Mm-hmm.
Um. So no. Um. Tome does nod at that though. Um. And then you see him glance at the streak in your hair a
Mm-hmm.
bit knowingly, even though he doesn't say anything.
Yeah. In pictures, it's not just a fun design thing. No, even pretty sure they have pictures of me from before Paradise. That's always been there since as long as I can remember. So, yeah, twice.
Um, doesn't say anything. I'm so sorry, Jubilee. I'm so sorry, Jubilee. Tome is very much right now in
Mhm.
investigator mode. I hate to say it, he's entered investigator mode at this point.
That's
Um,
fair.
he kind of just nods. Well, at least you don't remember it then.
Mhm. Yeah, he does. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm rolling insight.
Yep.
Tome can beat that. Tome does
Nope.
not beat that.
Nope. He Jubilee just nods. Like, yeah, my goodness. Yeah. Yeah. But he's looking out over the city more. Uh, so, damn, maybe 3. Can't fully count it. Warlock patron, yes. And Pritch. Still can't pecking believe 130, not 30.
Yes, 100 being the key part of that.
Well, he should have spoken up or something.
Are you blaming Pritch right now?
Maybe, perhaps, maybe.
Tome just raises a single eyebrow, like, "What do you want to do this to a warlock of Pritch?"
You know, I
He
think
doesn't say that, but he
my
does raise the eyebrow.
yeah, I think my brother's atheism may be rubbing off a bit because yes, I am doing this. Mhm.
Don't.
It
I don't
was
even know how I'm going to unpack that.
soggy, and I couldn't hear, and I heard 30 instead of 130.
Well,
So,
you couldn't hear. It is not your. It's not Pritch's fault that you couldn't hear.
mm, well, he still had the gamer pad, and it really didn't look like anything fancy or like a church or a
Are you
shrine.
telling me that you think all gods need to be in some ancient fancy shrine?
I think it's a better aesthetic, yes. There. I think it's much cooler.
The amount of patience testing Jubilee puts Tome through.
You want to roll insight?
Oh, definitely.
Mhm.
I got a
12.
30 in the beginning of this game, and I am now
Mhm.
paying for it.
Yeah, a 12. You know, that's enough. Um, you can tell that he's not being serious. You can tell he's being a little shit and trying to rile you up. You're not sure why he's doing this, but he is very much being an asshole for the sake of being an asshole right now.
Tome just takes a deep breath, gives a little bit of a smile. Yukon,
Mm.
there is no need to act this way around me. It will not get you any farther.
I don't know. It's very fun to be a prick.
Yes, but it really won't have much effect on me.
Yeah, but it's really funny when you stutter and get all flustered.
E- excuse me?
See, just like that.
What? Now,
Mhm. Mhm. I'm
his
listening.
face is a little red. Yukon.
Mhm.
He takes a deep breath. This kind of behavior,
Mhm.
there is no need to act like this right now.
Says who? You're not my dad.
Yes, I'm quite aware of that.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pause. Somewhere this is tempting the fate of the plot.
Tome almost internally hearing the plot, going, I swear. Nope. Tome voice, no, I denied it last time. I got awkward and then I ended up with dad. So this time, if I put my foot down, it's gonna work. Me, the player, laughing. Sure.
So, by that logic, I don't have to listen to you, and I'll just continue being an asshole because it's funny.
Tome kind of pauses in thought. I'm gonna roll something really quick.
Oh boy. Mhm.
Tome kind of pauses in thought. And then he nods. All right then, continue being an asshole.
Good. Excellent. Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. And Juby is walking towards the edge of the building now, looking out over things. Hmm.
Tome follows him.
So beyond this, ugh, I try and put the pin on honestly, but I don't think it'll work. I won't be able to hear anything. I may have tried it earlier.
Tome
It's,
kind of frowns.
it went. It sounded like static, so it's probably still not in a good state. Aside
Did
from the
you
obvious.
did you want to hear the gallery?
Uh,
Oh, and Tome is watching very carefully.
hmm. Yeah, roll that insight. I'll give you advantage. You said he is watching carefully. Nope, don't need it.
I don't need advantage. Um,
Yeah. He's looking out over the lights of the city, but there is something definitely almost melancholy about his expression. And you can piece together with how he had jumped to put on a show for the gallery and seemed very eager to play along with their antics that yeah, he missed that, and he does wanna be able to hear him, but he's not saying it, as he just gives a shrug, acts like it's no big deal. Eh. I mean, it'd be fun, but ugh, the static hurt my ears.
Tome seems to pause before he looks at Jubilee and gives a nod. Hold your hand out.
What?
Hold your hand out.
Okay. He slowly holds a hand out.
And there is a moment before Tome takes his pin off, and he places it in Jubilee's hand. And Jubilee, you can now hear the gallery.
And there's a pause. Listening. And kind of frowns slightly. Tilts his head.
They aren't, like I said, they aren't the loudest today, but you can. Out of character, you can definitely hear that last one.
Yeah. Yes. Hello, gallery. I can hear you. What? Do they always talk about chicken tenders?
Tom kind of gives a snort, because he can't hear it now that he's let go. He kind of waves his hand. Depends on the people. Depends on how it is.
No stars. If they're talking about chicken tenders in the middle of my performances, I think I might get distracted. I am not gallery. I am not a coward.
Oh, yeah, that's the gallery then. They've already started bullying you.
I am. I mean, they're fine. I suppose. Sure, let's have a Q&A on chicken tenders. They're fine. I guess they're just chicken tenders. I don't know how else you can have them dress them up. I suppose. Okay. I like pastries more, honestly. There's a good bakery around here that's much better than the one in Billstown. Far better.
Yukon,
Yes.
do not talk bad about my son's bakery. And there is. I'm going to, because I love doing this. I get to roll an intimidation.
Oh boy.
Tome has a really big smile, and it is very much that is my son. Don't talk bad about where he works.
Nope. Jimmy, very much trying to not look intimidated. You have very clearly made a point, and Juvie is unnerved. However, he digs his heels in.
Who expected the giant noodle, not Noodle the player, but the character type, can be intimidating behind all that pink and yellow.
Jimmy just, you know, you have a very good point. Leo does work out the painted lady. However, Leo doesn't bake their things. He just works at the front. I will slander it. I will not slander my brother. The bakery here is much better. Anyway.
Yes, continue talking in other ways. We will continue this conversation later.
Okay, someone's very excited. Wow, this is weird. You deal with this all the time.
Constantly. Unless I put it away, but I've been wearing it more.
So, he pauses like, oh, as they realize he can hear them. What am I supposed to dare him, gallery? I mean, of course I'll dare him to do stuff. He's too tall.
No.
He's a prick. He needs to shrink.
Excuse me.
If you shrink, I will stop listening to the gallery.
Yukon, we both know that's not gonna happen. Either
Mm.
parts of that. But,
So then the gallery should definitely be on my side because it'll be really funny to have these things happen. Oh, I don't know what we're daring, gallery. How about you come up with it? That'll be fun. We have a whole city at our disposal.
I hope the gallery that I am the one who normally wears that pin.
Mhm. Yes, but let's see. I've stolen the show. This is fantastic. Yeah, sure. Why not? Hey, Tome, do a flip.
No.
Oh, you're a coward. Do it. I bet you can't.
Okay.
Oh, you're no fun. You're an old man. You have no fun. I don't know why. Ah? Am I wrong? You're
Listen,
old and your bones are creaky. You can't do a flip. I understand. You don't want
you
to embarrass yourself.
you Yukon.
You'll try and it'll just be crunch. I understand. We don't want to. Come now, let's
Yukon.
not bully the elderly, chat.
Okay, out of character gallery, Tome can't hear you right now. Um, you're good.
Oh, they want you to prove me
Tome,
wrong.
I'm going to make a whiz save real quick. Because I do point out how often Tome is with the gallery, so he is very used to ignoring these.
Mm-hmm.
You're not disadvantaged because roll a funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
I'm overriding it because I want to see it.
because it's funny.
That's gonna be. I'm doing acrobatics.
Yeah!
Guys, please don't mess this up. Actually, genuinely.
Bullying. Bullying. Do you want to take advantage? Have spite advantage? Or whatever's funnier?
I don't know. Actually, that's a nat one. That's pretty hilarious. Actually. Hold up. I'm gonna do a second roll. And
I believe Tome's fucking dead. It's a 7!
got it. Okay, I know how to flavor this. There is a moment. 1 second, I'm finding the art. Hold up.
Oh boy. This is
Find the art.
great, guys. We break the TOS, definitely.
Okay, the person in the gallery. Do you have the art? Because I can't find it. My search function isn't working. But
Describe for us this
while you do
wonderful
that, while you
event.
do that for the live listeners, let me describe this. So Tome sighs, and he just goes, "You're not going to stop until I do it, aren't you?"
Nope.
Fine, I might as well get this over with. And Tome is kind of already expecting this to go bad. And he does it the first time, and just very promptly lands on his face. And there is a pause as he sighs, and he stands up, and there's determination in his eyes now, and he does it again. And the second time he does this like, yes, I love this. This is one of my favorite pieces of artwork. The second time he does it, he does the as the gallery calls it, the gumshoe breakdance. And he lands very like dizzy. And then after a moment, he goes, "Third time's the try. That or this is about to be a gag." And he steps up and he kind of gives a little stretch. Here's some popping. And then Tome does a flip.
No. I was hoping it would fall again. That would have been really funny. Peck. Oh well. Are you happy, gallery? Yes, very good. All right. He does
least
like a
they're
little golf
happy.
clap. He does a little golf clap, like, all right, well done, you did it. Hmm. Yes, yes, there's the applause, there's the applause. He did a flip, he did well. His old man bones are still in one piece. Well done.
Tome Tome doesn't say. Sorry, I can hear people outside.
Mhm.
Tome doesn't say a word, but he just very much gives a little smile. He's like, "You are not going to Yukon. You need to understand. You're
Mhm.
not the first person to call me old. It doesn't have that much of effect on me."
But it did make you do a flip.
No, the gallery made me do a flip because, and the fact that you wouldn't stop asking made me do a flip because, to be honest, I don't need the gallery messing with me for the entire rest of the night.
Therefore, persistence and being an asshole is how we get you to do things. Got it? I will pass it on to the triplets. They'll make good use of this information. Mhm.
Home kind of just gives a snort and he goes, "I'm very sorry to break the news, but they figured stuff out a lot faster than you did, Yukon."
Well, okay, fair. You like them more than me. So. Ugh. You believe this gallery? Oh, of course, it's happening again. The least favorite child in the house. I
Considering two of them are my
understand.
son,
I am unloved.
you are not
I can't
unloved.
believe this. Least
Considering,
favorite, no one wants me around.
oh, I will be sure to tell that to Leonardo then.
Yes, he will kick me out to the streets.
Leonardo would love.
I'll be
I'm
out.
so
I'll
excited
have to
for
live in a
Leonardo
tree.
and Camille to both hear that you think they don't love you.
Oh, I can't believe you would do this. I need to roll a thing. That is high enough. And Juby continues his dramatics and does swoons with the oh, I can't believe this, and right onto a fainting couch, which
What?
has shown up for the sake of the gag. That was a
Tome
buff.
internally. Oh.
It's like, no, they won't even want me in the bakery. No, they won't. My sisters won't even have me back. He just snickers.
I swear every time we meet, you get somehow more dramatic.
It's the one. I'd say it's the one thing I'm good at, but that's not. I'm very good with quite a few things. It's probably the
Yes,
best
you are.
thing I'm best at. Okay, gallery. For the record, I have slept in a tree. It's not fun. And no, I'm not going to eat worms. I'm not eating worms, gallery. I'm not that kind of bird.
There's a pause before Tome actually gives a little bit of a smile.
There's a squint in your direction. Oh no. No, no, no. No.
What's wrong, Yukon?
No.
Are you a coward?
There's no worms in a desert.
I'm gonna roll something because of rule of funny. I'm rolling hammer space.
No, there's no sandworms either. I've been out. I've lived here for a bit.
Tome reaches into his hammer space and pulls out a small can and hands it over.
You have a can of worms.
You understand how many birds live in that house?
Yes, I'm one of them. And
Besides you. Plus,
it's like
okay, it's
there's
more
like
than that. It's
four.
mostly
There's
that it was
like okay, maybe five if we count Camille's little his new
Yes,
crow
I
in its
count.
2 head. It's like
I count
5.
it very much. I very much count it.
Valerie, don't worry why I was looking for sandworms.
But that's not why I have the worms, so it does work. It's more of a rule of funny. Because it'd
But
be quite hilarious to watch you eat a can of worms.
I open more than enough, not literally. I was not feeling Gallery, I like to come out here and when I'm, a bit just having a time. There are convenient boulders around here that are very good for being blown up. And that's very cathartic. And I think, you hear stories about things in the desert, and maybe there's like giant sandworms, and I don't want to get eaten by a giant sandworm.
You're not going to get eaten by a giant sandworm.
I know because they're not out here. But there were. I don't.
There's a.
Well,
Tome takes a deep breath, doesn't say a thing. And he just shakes and is like, don't worry, Yukon. You don't have to eat the worms. I just would rather you just not eat them because you don't want to, and rather because you say you can't.
well, you see about that. This can needs a can opener. So
No.
even if I wanted to live up to it, I can't. Nope.
You glance down, it suddenly turned into one of those pop lids.
Flips it over the other side. He very pointedly flips it over to the side that was not a pop lid. It was probably that way the whole time, and he just like flips it, like, oh look, can't do it.
I'm gonna.
Okay, gummy worms, maybe.
I'm gonna say you can't actually see what's inside the can.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be really funny. Tome just kind of shakes and goes, "Well, come on, coward."
Oh boy. Yep. Mm-hmm. He sighs and tries very hard to not give in because they have a point. Tome did a flip, and Jubilee is very adamant that he is not a coward. And the last time someone called him a coward, he did give up and kind of prove them right. And that still stings. And he needs his ego to recover just a bit. Yeah, so there is a fine. We'll eat the pecking worms to fuel the. Opens the can.
It's gummy worms.
Because Jubilee is very much tuned. There's a moment where it is just dots above his head as he stares down at these worms. At the gummy worms.
Because Tome's tall enough, he could probably see in the can.
Mm-hmm. And the foxers just go flat on either side of his head as he realizes, oh, he's making a fuss. Oh, fine. Ugh. Worms, gummy worms grabbed, handful, shoved into mouth, chomp, swallow, done. Like, they're second happy.
Do you feel better now, Yukon? Now that you've ate something?
I ate before. Want to roll insight?
I will. Because Tome lives with Leo.
That's 24. Let's see, Juby. Let's just roll for the sake. Nope. That's a 12. He was a little too quick to answer that. Just a bit.
I'm not the person to lie about whether or not you've ate.
Well, I just did, so I've eaten.
That is not a natural meal.
Well, it could be.
No, it couldn't.
It could be.
Is that really the example you want to set for Leo?
Leo's not here right now.
I could tell Leo.
You wouldn't
How
snitch.
would he be? I'm a private investigator, and you
That's right.
aren't a case. Which,
Mm.
this is very funny, by the way. The funniest part about this is Tome has said to other people that because he's a private investigator, he won't snitch. So this is very much Tome is chaotic neutral. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you, he's being a little shit to Jubilee right now. Jubilee wanted to be a little shit, two could play at that game.
She is very much just, oh shit, he's right. Because there's someone else who, snitching, he did some snitching before and he got some payback for that. It's like, well, I was going to eat because I'm in this city and I can't ever leave without getting food. So it would have happened.
It's still pretty late into the day. I think you need to eat.
I was busy.
You can't. I can't make you eat. That is not my job. I can simply remind you that however you act, Leonardo will use to excuse his behavior.
Oh, that's right.
And even if you don't want to listen for my sake, even if you don't want to listen for Leo's sake, how do you think Camille's going to react?
He'll bite me.
Yes, he will.
Yes, no. The gallery, that is precisely who I know would catch me and feed me if they knew I was here and, didn't grab a sandwich or something. Also, I'm pretty sure at least one of them is still not pleased with how I left the bakery last time I was here.
Still causing trouble.
Well, to be fair, it was a bit just a bit of an experiment that may have exploded cake all over the kitchen.
Of course.
And well, I didn't get any of it on me, which was fantastic. My sister, on the other hand,
Not so lucky.
no, it's fine.
I'm sure
It's
it is.
Yeah, it's fine. We had a lovely time. She forgave me for that. Just for this record, mirror mazes are not fun. Don't go in them. They suck.
I don't currently plan on it, but okay.
Good, fantastic, excellent. There's Oh boy.
Okay, hold up. Out of
Mhm.
character, he wouldn't hear that.
Yeah, I know. Mhm.
That would have automatically been censored.
Mm.
Um, sorry, I've been given the privilege to do this FPS, but I do have gallery rules. And by Pritch rules, anything that would be said that could give the character a really bad crisis would or have to make him do a whiz save like that,
Mhm.
would not be heard. For example, before Tome realized that he was a dad, he could never hear any time he was called a dad or the gallery told him to be a dad.
Mhm.
So it's very much stuff that would cause a character crisis cannot be heard. So you said whiz save, Juby can't hear that.
Yeah. There is a pause and a weird flick of his box ear as he tilts his head and opens his hand where he's been just holding the pin and kind of turns it back and forth, looking over it.
What's wrong?
Uh, it's not yours isn't chipped or anything, is it? It's not weird.
No.
That was weird. I heard that static again.
Oh, the censor.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay. Sure.
Pritch has a little thing in there, to if the gallery starts to say anything that will greatly upset us or in any way, we can't normally hear it. I used to get
Uh-oh.
it a lot. Though for me, it just kind of came up as this message has been censored. Which, when you have that a lot in a row, that can be a very, very long,
Ooh.
long message.
Uh, well, they've been doing very good so far, apparently. I thought it would have been a lot worse if that's something. There's a beat. And I don't think that beats your passive insight.
Yeah. No.
Mm-hmm.
Looked at his passive insight of 20.
Yeah,
No.
there is very much a pause as Jubilee realizes what he said, kind of winces as he's like, oh boy, I'm picking up the rambling. Uh-oh. And very much is like, oh, cringe. Like, whoops.
Snorts.
Pretend you didn't hear that? I'm fine. I'm great. I'm fine. Don't worry about that. It's great. It's don't. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I didn't hear a thing.
Excellent. Great. Yep. Good.
I'm just reminding you, if you don't take care of yourself, Camille and Leo will find out.
No, I have plenty of people who will believe me. No, I do. For the most part, things are weird.
And why are they weird? Yukon?
You have to promise not to tell him.
Tell who?
My brothers in the house. You can't tell them.
There is a sigh from Tome as he. Okay, I was trying to make sure you couldn't hear my bag.
Nope.
Rattling too bad.
Nope. I hear no rattle.
Tome kind of pauses and he thinks and he goes, he actually gets serious for a moment. Yukon, it is not my choice to tell them. And it is not my choice to judge on keeping secrets. But I will remind you who you are brothers with.
I am well
Just
aware. I
and
just
how much they care about you.
Yes, I know, which is precisely why I don't want them worrying further, because I'm working on it. It's better than it used to be. I I
The
just
fact that you don't want them to worry, have you considered that might be why they need to?
well, I don't know what they can do. I mean,
Well, then tell me what's wrong.
it's stupid pecking nightmares. That's what it is. It sounds so juvenile. I can't sleep. That's it. And he
And why can't they know?
he just huffs and crosses his arms. It's because they'll worry about the fact that I'm not sleeping. And it's been a problem because I'm getting more than I used to, but it's not a lot. And it's most of the time I spend up on the roof. It's through the night while they're asleep. And they think I've been sleeping through the nights. They know I'm usually the first one awake in the house. I'm always waking up at the sunrise. So they just don't realize that I'm up a bit before the sunrise.
Seems to
Okay.
take a moment and think. before he kind of he's kind of thinking things over.
Mm.
And finally, he gives just a small little nod. Yukon,
Mm.
do you want my honest thought on this?
Sure, why not? May as well hear it. It's better than being lied to.
I think they're going to worry either way. And I think that you trying to handle this on your own is not going to solve it. But more than that, how do you think they're going to feel when they find out that you haven't been sleeping and you didn't tell them?
There is a wince, and he kind of rubs at the back of his neck. That missing line art is. It's well, I mean, ideally they never find out, and it's better by the time they do.
And even if it is better, because Yukon, let's be honest, I look at the people you're living with, they will find out.
Yes.
Even if it is better, it doesn't change the fact that you didn't ask them for help.
The kids.
And you're not.
No, not anymore.
No, you're
I
still a kid.
I lost that
Yukon,
I lost that
Yukon.
luxury when I chose to leave home. I had to grow up very fast. And those kids, they've had they've had so much shit happen to them, Tome. Obviously, you well, I mean,
He gives a
some of
nod.
it. Yeah, just they have enough on their plates. They don't need my shit added to it. So I can handle my stuff. It's nightmares. I've had them forever. It's not a big deal. So what? I have a few sleepless nights every week or so.
Yukon, please stop talking for a second.
Bold ask.
It is a bold ask, but I'm asking it either way, understood?
All right.
Yukon. And Tone kind of takes a deep breath. Yukon, I really hate to break the news to you, but you are still a kid. As someone who's been alive, who's been in a job longer than you've been alive, you're still a kid. And yes, what all of you have gone through is terrible and horrible, and beyond what I've even come close to experiencing. But there's also the fact that you don't need to belittle what you've gone through because they've gone through horrible things. And you don't need to hold it's this pedestal again, Yukon. You don't need to hold yourself on this pedestal for them. Those are your brothers, and they deserve for you to trust them enough. And you deserve to be able to have people you can go to. You're still a kid, Yukon. Maybe you grew up too fast. That doesn't mean you have to stop being a kid. That doesn't mean you can never be a kid again. You lost out on part of your childhood. Do you really want to stay away from it?
He's still rubbing his neck. It's very obviously not quite sheepish, but kind of avoidant. I I don't know. I mean, I it's I can't. It's not like I can go back in time.
You can't. You're right. But you have now, and you have the future.
And I have
Look,
people who need me to not fall to pieces.
and you need them. Yukon, Do you think you can really keep yourself together by yourself?
Let's see.
Do you think you should have to do that?
Managed well enough. Local bastard is lying through his teeth. That still does not beat the passive.
Yeah, I can roll if you want, or we can roll passive.
I'd roll with passive, honestly,
Okay.
or you
Tome
can roll just to see if you get
above.
more. Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're rolling with
Nah.
passive. The
Mm-hmm.
dice are not nice to me normally.
Mm-mm. That's fine.
Tome, Tome kind of shakes his head. You can, let's be honest, based off what I've seen and what I know of your history, you have not. Okay. I and I don't know why you're bothering lying to me about this. Okay. So, Yukon, I'm going to be blunt with you because, like I said before, you don't seem to listen unless someone's being blunt with you. And the kid isn't here, so I don't really need to stop myself.
Hey, Tome,
Yes.
you want to roll perception?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm kind of scared now.
Nat one. Take advantage. Just for the sake of take advantage, you've already incited the fact that he is being a shit. There you go. 28. You hear. It's hard to hear at first, and it probably doesn't click because you see him mumble to himself a bit. And it's probably just, it's weird, this is a new city, but it doesn't click until you're about to continue. That Jubilee just kind of muttered, "You're not the only one I'm lying to."
There is a pause. And who else, Yukon?
Oh. I like to believe I can handle things on my own.
And you can't. Whether or not you want to admit it, you can't. But that's not a bad thing, Yukon. I understand that you've put yourself on this pedestal and you are quite convinced you have to be perfect. We have very much established that.
Oh, yes.
But Yukon, you
Uh,
you don't have to. And you shouldn't have to.
well,
And
it's,
you told me you wanted off that pedestal.
I mean, a bit. It's,
So when your brothers are giving you a chance to get off it, why are you clinging to it?
I,
I'm not asking you to share your heart to the world. I'm asking you to trust the people you live with and who trust you. Yukon, you are still a kid, and there is no reason you should be having to carry the weight of that entire house on your shoulders. Because there will be a point where you won't be a kid anymore. And you deserve to be able to relax for once before then.
if I may be honest, Inspector,
Be honest.
I get the feeling that that time's already come. Lost it 2 lifetimes ago. So,
And yet, you still act like a kid sometimes.
I'm a very good pretender.
Is it always pretending?
There is a pointed silence as he looks away.
No, it isn't, is it, Yukon? It's not always pretending. So I'm going to ask you a different question. Why do you not want to be a kid? Ignoring any of your brothers and the weight you feel you have to carry for them. Why don't you want to be a kid?
There is a long pause as he looks at the pin in his hand and then back out to the city and over the lights. I It's not safe. It's not safe.
Why?
'Cause I can't be that person anymore. I
Okay.
can't. So it's not safe to be that person. So I
No, no.
can't be that person.
Yukon, I'm not asking you to be who you were. I'm asking you, why do you not want to be a kid?
That's the whole point. That is
No,
that
it isn't.
no, it
Yukon.
because
Home,
a kid can't do anything. A kid doesn't have magic. A kid can't keep
did
his
Leo not do
family.
anything? What about Camille? Timmy? Arata? Any of them? Azumi? Any? Are you telling me that none of them can do anything?
Shouldn't have to.
And why should you?
Because
Yukon, why are you so different from your brothers?
I'm heck, I promised him I wasn't gonna say it.
Hmm?
Be- They they're good people. They're good people. Heck, he's not here, I can say it because they're good people and I'm not. That's why.
Why aren't you a good person?
You know why.
No. Yukon, I know about paradise. Now give me a reason you're not a good person.
'Cause
I'm an investigator, a private investigator who's been doing this job longer than you've been alive. I've seen more murders, I've seen more criminals, I have seen more people who are bad people. And I have looked them dead in the eye. So, when I say that I don't think you are right now, please give me an actual reason.
it's I I don't fucking know what else to say beyond what's already out there.
Besides
Uh,
paradise?
besides
Besides
paradise,
your
besides
scams?
this, yes, scams, the people I hurt with all of that.
Yukon, I'm going to ask you a question I asked last time. Because I asked this last time.
Yeah.
Did you want to hurt these people?
No, I didn't. But
Then, there we go. Sorry, no. Let me take a deep breath. Yukon.
A bad guy would have known better. He wouldn't have hurt those people. I didn't want to, but I did it regardless. Doesn't that make me a bad person? The fact that even knowing that these people were going to get hurt and that I was
Yukon,
stealing
I'm
from
going to
them,
ask you a very, very difficult question. Okay?
sure.
I am a private investigator. My
Mhm.
job is to make sure that these bad people don't get away. Okay?
Mhm.
But that also means I've seen a lot of things. And I've seen a lot of court cases. If I'm not able to find the even if I find out who really did it, but it's after someone innocent has been accused, even if that person doesn't even go to trial, but that person still had to get accused. Have I been bad to them?
I,
I mean, I should have known enough that I could have proven them innocent straight away.
it's
You
com-
did what you could with the information you had and what you were able to think of. And you were trying to do good, which means a lot more than anyone who does good but does not mean to. There are a lot of very messed up people in this world, Yukon. People who act good, and who will act good to your face. There are people who help others, who are nice, who go as far as to give them everything that they need. But those people would kill another person if given the chance to make themselves go farther. Good and bad is not weighed by how much joy or hurt you bring to the world. It's weighed by what you want to do and how you react once you've learned what you've done. Welcome to Toonkind D&D. We get into some deep shit.
Welcome to morality. Good lord.
Holy shit.
Yeah, there's a definite. He's thinking on it, but it definitely sinks in, and he's pausing, just frustrated. Yeah, it makes sense. It does. Yes, it's complicated. Heck, this is all
Everything's
complicated.
complicated.
Yes, I know, it's all complicated. Ugh. It's probably not the best content on your stream or whatever it is, either.
To be honest, they've seen worse with me.
Oh boy. Knowing what kind of train wreck I am. Oof.
Hey.
Look, I'll admit it. Hang on, 1 sec. I'm
Alright.
getting called. And we're back.
Alright.
Yeah. Yeah. Train wreck that I am. If they've seen worse than this. Oof. I am partially sorry. The chat. That's great. Ugh. On the other hand, this is just. How do you even deal with it? Having to do your whole law thing,
Hmm.
but not seeing it in shades of black and white.
How do I do it? How do I
Yeah,
see everything in so many shades?
like you have to have a good guy and a bad guy. That's how it works. It has to be. That's
No.
how, that's how it works.
No. You know, a lot of people think that, especially regarding the law. And there are, I, it is a trope for a reason. There are tunes and real kind both who do see that. But someone someone I knew taught me very well that when you when you start seeing the world in just black and white, You miss a lot of clues. There's a lot of things that get lost in those shades of gray if you aren't looking. Because you can say it's just black, white, and gray, but not all shades of gray are the same. The law the law has someone who is caught, someone who is blamed, but there is a reason the law has so many different outcomes. The person the person who stole to survive is not the same as the person who stole to frame someone. Why would they get the same punishment?
What
Part of
if
the
they're the
reason I
same person? He's not looking at you, but he does ask that. What if they're the same person?
mm, that person has grown, or they've fallen, or there's reasoning behind that to see the world in black and white. It's to assume you know everything, to assume that you are a god, or above even a god. Because I don't think even the gods see things in black and white. The gods. But let me see the pin. I think it's best we put it away for now. And he holds out his hand.
Jubilee hands it back.
And Tome just puts in his hammer space for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
The gods are not all knowing. If Pritch could not know what happened to you, and I believe that Pritch is not so egotistical to even claim that he knows what is right and wrong. But to assume that the world is black and white is to assume that you know everything, and that there is only one path to go. But, like you said, what if they're the same person? Well, then I guess I would ask the person this. Next time they do steal something, is it going to be to survive or to frame someone out of spite?
Depending on which person you ask, might be neither, might be both, who knows?
Well, depending on the answer is how I would judge. Because if it's to survive, then what am I supposed to do? Tell them to die? No, I
Yes.
help them. And if it's to get back at someone else, then maybe I ask why. There's a lot of people hurt in this world, Yukon. You're one of them. Okay?
Victim of the narrative, I'd say.
Mm-hmm. And the plot is cruel, and gags are not fun. Sure,
Yeah, it'd be fantastic if we
people
could
see.
figure out what it wants with us. That would be great.
Yeah. And just because tunes are viewed as a source of comedy, it doesn't mean that, well, there's tragedies exist for a reason.
Hmm.
The law is black and white to some, but I really think that the true law is a lot more gray than that. Because not
Huh?
I know, I'm trying to think. Tome and I are both trying to get the words right.
That's fair. I will say, as Tome is saying this, it is. I gotta roll something quick. just for the sake of seeing how things are. Yeah. Hmm. Interesting. Um, 1 second. 1 second.
Mhm. Take your time, because 'cause I'm trying to get words.
Thank you. I thought something was getting picked up.
No, you're good.
Yeah. Um, Jubilee is very thoughtful, and it's a different kind of thoughtful from his usual scheming or avoidance. It is kind of a quiet thoughtfulness. That's well, you two have gotten into discussions of morality, which is surprising, but you'd think for someone who's a showman, who's a cheat and a thief, who is very stubborn and a brat, he's not just thinking with that, he's thinking in depth on it, and you can figure out he's very genre aware. You can probably put together some of the reasons why he's been digging his heels in for some things and why
Mhm.
he falls back on some things very easily, even
Mhm.
though you can tell he doesn't want to be doing them.
Um, Tome seems to pause in thought, and he finally seems to start to gather his words. Yukon,
Hmm.
you asked how I see the world in shades of gray. And that's because if I had to view the world in black and white, there are a lot of cases I would never be able to solve because, like you said, it's complicated. The world's complicated, which the fact that you view everything in, I'm guessing you view everything in black and white because you call the brothers good, which you bad, even though, to be honest, Yukon at most, you're a shade of gray to me.
Hmm.
But like you said, it's complicated.
Yeah, well, I'd say I see things in black and white, but most often it's a bit rose tinted. There is a bit of a grin as you can tell he was very purposefully making that pun.
Well,
Ugh.
yeah, no, I'm gonna steal this quote right from Tumblr. Um, if you're seeing everything through rose tinted glasses, then how were you expected to see the red flags?
Well, just look for flags and walk towards them. Figure it out
Eh,
on the way.
well, that's not the smartest plan.
No one ever said I was smart.
Well, you're not stupid, despite what you tried to make the joke about earlier.
Eh, and fair. Not dumb. Dumb ass, yes. Dumb, no. I think we'll have that well established with everything. Either way, this is certainly a deeper conversation than I was expecting, but
Well, perhaps
fitting.
you needed it.
Perhaps I do. Most of those happen on this rooftop, if I'm honest.
I was wondering when you brought us up here. I know tropes.
Yeah. Last I was up here, I had a friend who told me, need to get my head out my arse.
Or
And,
do.
well, it was about something else.
Oh, well, you still need to, but continue.
It's just a very deadpan look. It's a good place to come up here and think.
It is.
Though I don't recommend coming up here without permission, should you ever return. Or
I
at
don't
least
plan on it.
fair. I don't think Ace would like it very much if I abuse the privilege too much. I'm very
Don't
cute,
worry.
but I'm not that cute.
Mm. Tome's not gonna say anything. Tome's not gonna be mean to you.
Juvie saw it and he's like, don't say it.
Tome just kind of smiles. Casinos really aren't my style. Not my
Oh?
genre. Not unless it's a case.
Well, hopefully there's not one here. Otherwise, well, you'd probably be solving one of my heists, which is a bit cheap.
Mm. No, I really hope I don't have to solve one of your cases.
It'd be funny, I'd know how to get away from you. I'd be excellent at it. You'd never
Yes,
solve it.
but
It would be the perfect crime.
I do specialize in murders, so we're gonna both hope that I don't end up on a case involving you.
Yeah, you know, if we ever make it 3 for
Oh,
3.
I would love see if Camille ended up on a case where you were the suspect.
Oh,
Because
no.
although he does end up on murders, he sometimes the plot's a little nicer to him since he is so young.
Oh,
I would
no.
I would just love to see that.
Oh, he's a menace.
Oh, when he would actually catch you.
No,
Oh,
I
he would.
think I could avoid him.
No, you couldn't.
Probably.
No,
I bet I could.
no, you couldn't. I'll give you me. I'll be honest. I'll admit you probably could escape me, but you could not Camille.
Well,
He
I
would have
know
you
some
cornered.
things.
He would still get you cornered.
Mm, I could simply turn him into a kitten, and then meowing is not evidence in a case.
I, and how do you plan on turning him into a kitten?
I have my ways.
I'd love to hear them.
When he's startled, he can turn into a kitten.
Mhm. And you don't think he can ever turn back?
I will have gone across the country by then.
Mhm. He'll still find you. How long do you
Mhm,
think you can stay away from Leo?
mm.
Exactly.
Leo
Thank
will
you.
be my accomplice.
No, he won't.
Yes, he will.
No, he won't.
Yes, he would.
Mm-mm.
Yes, he would.
No, because I would
I
tell him not to.
I will bring him into a life of crime. He will no longer be a simple barista boy.
Oh, and if he's in a life, there is actually a pause, as there is a small glint in Tone's eye. And if he goes into a life of crime, is it suddenly black and white for him?
No, because he'll be funny. And
Like you're not funny. Um,
I
yes, Tome absolutely just laid that trap for you to step into.
he realizes it very much. There is definitely a pause as it's like, wait.
Tone voice, oh, you want to be a hypocrite around me? You want to be a hypocrite? Okay, okay. You want to 4D chess this? Let's play 4D chess, Jubilee.
Home has out 40 just Judy at the moment. Like, I. Well,
Perhaps the world's not as black and white as you thought.
there. I'm. You
Or
have.
perhaps you've been holding yourself to different standards.
Okay, that's the last one I'll accept.
Mhm. Yukon, I'm not going to bully you for the entire time we're up here.
About
That's
to
not why I
say.
came here. And if I really wanted to, I'd just let you wear the pin long enough. But
Oh
they would
no,
do
they love me.
oh,
They
they would
won't bully me.
they will. They love everyone, and then they start bullying you to show their love. Um,
Mm, no, I'm pretty.
you co
They won't bully me.
you think I'm not? You co
There's a squint, like,
Tome
but
matches
too
your look.
tall.
Oh, thanks.
Thinking maybe.
Mhm.
Mhm. Just like 7 inches, yeah.
No,
7
thank you.
inches, maybe. Yeah, I think you should.
No.
I think you should. I think you're too tall.
I quite enjoy being taller than you. I'm actually which Tomachi could not care, but he's absolutely going to be, a little shit to Jubilee right now. Um, Tome just
Hmm.
kinda sighs. Yukon, in all seriousness, though. Because you know what, Jubilee, you're trying to topic avoidance, but Tome and I can both see this. Um,
His
you
plan foiled.
you can't freeze. Tome has had enough deep talks with Camille. You cannot 4D chess him right now. This is not Timmy. Tome kind of just nods. Yukon, please, just allow yourself to be a kid a little bit and trust your brothers. You'll be surprised how smart they are too, and maybe they can help. But you won't be able to find that out unless you trust them as much as they trust you.
I can make an effort.
And that's all
Oh.
you can do, Yukon. But you can start by telling them you have nightmares. I'm not asking you to open up your entire life story to them.
I mean,
But I understand you think they're just nightmares, but that might be the reason that's a good way to start talking to them. And who knows? Maybe once they realize that you trust them just as much as they trust you, you guys will get closer.
you need to stop making good points. You're making it
Oh,
very hard to be a bastard to you.
oh, thanks. It's almost like you said I'm old.
I already did that, and
Hmm.
I will continue to.
Okay, and I'll continue to be smart. Oh, not smart, wise. He doesn't say
Mm,
smart. He says
mhm.
wise. He says wise. He says wise.
And I'll continue to be smart. It's like, oh, will you now?
No, Tome would not call himself smart.
Like, wise. Yeah, that's fair. You have to be old to be wise. All right, fine. Fine,
Thank
I'll
you.
admit that. I still hope the gallery bully you.
Oh, they will.
And there is a moment where one of his ears flick. And he's like, I. Well, with all of this, I know my questions got answered. More than that. And before things start getting insane, and more people than you start making very good points at me,
Hmm.
I do believe I have some place to visit, which you should probably come with,
Oh.
because I'm going to convert your opinion.
Hmm.
Um, the bakery here.
Oh, fine.
Excellent. And then you'll
Only
see I'm right.
because only because I know the boys will want some sweets.
And I'll be right that it's better.
I'll let the boys be the judge, and I'll also be the judge.
Uh,
But
I
Tome does
I
start to
already
walk
have
after
one of
you.
them.
You already have which one?
I'm not telling you.
Oh, I gotta know which one.
No, I'm not telling you.
Yeah, it's because two of them are my son.
I'm still not telling you because
My
then you
sponge?
will attempt to convert whomever it is
I would
back to the dark side of saying painted the
if
clearly
it
inferior
if
pastries are
it
better.
is the third one, if it is Timmy, do not worry, I will not try to convert him.
There's a
Okay.
pause.
Okay, that's what I thought. Mostly because I can't seem to. I'm going to make such a meta joke right now, but I can't seem to ever have a conversation with him, especially where the
um,
gallery can hear.
because he's smart and I taught him well not to talk to people associated with the law.
We'll discuss that later.
Nope, I think he is still my favorite and is the smartest of
Oh,
the
he's your
triplets.
favorite.
Yes, that is established. The
Okay,
other
I
two
figured
know.
it.
Hmm.
There's a snort from Tome. Okay, at least the other two know.
Oh, they
And
know.
he's very much walking with you as you two start to head back to the elevator.
Yep, and it is. Let's see. There is a bit of a glint in Juby's eyes. He's like, so do you want to take the boring route that way or the fun route?
What's the fun route?
Can your old man bones handle it?
What's the fun route?
And let's roll one more thing. As Jubilee steps towards the edge of the building, once again putting on a show. Like, well, there's the scenic route that's incredibly fun, but takes a bit of uh, skill to get through.
And Tome watches.
And, he just keeps walking along that narrow edge of the building. Need to have some guts to do it. Bit tricky.
And
Don't
lead
know
the
if you could
way.
keep up. Excellent. Follow me. And he steps off that ledge.
And what was that that you rolled?
That was performance.
Well, can I argue performance for Tome as well?
Sure. Nat 20, nice.
There is, you know what? Can I flavor this as our final note? Because he steps off the ledge, correct? What does he do after that?
Um, as Tome can see it, he very pointedly, after stepping off, and there's a rustle of fabric from his coat flaring out as he twirls his way down a pipe on the side of the building with practice and hops down and across to a lower roof. That it was made to look like he simply fell into the ether, but planned his way across.
There is a pause as Tome watches. And there's a moment before he just smiles. Yukon, did you ever actually ask what it is I do for the gallery?
Mm, no, I did.
And there's just a smile as Tome looks at him. Did you ever wonder why they asked me to do a flip? And he just kind of puts the pin on, and you watch as he very delicately jumps onto the pole and then holding his hat dramatically spins down before rolling next to you. Try and keep up. And he just kind of gives a tilt of his hat as he runs ahead of you.
And there is the briefest moment where final rolls. Just final roll. Yeah, no, I won't even do that. Fuck it. It's close. Jubilee is very good at hiding things. He's very good. Tome, you see, he's impressed. Jubilee is very impressed before he bolts after you.
And I say that's a good place to end it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you to all our
Woo!
3 nat 20s in one game.
Heck yeah!
First roll, mid roll, and last roll. For me, all were nat
Perfectly
20s.
balanced.
Thank you to all our current listeners, those who were with us from the beginning and those who joined partially through, and thank you to all our future listeners as well. We hope you have a wonderful time zone. Bye!